You know the part of the song, everybody sings along. Well, that's us, listen up, shout it out, I'm talking all night. The end is nowhere in sight. From the streets to the tracks, here's never looking back, cause the past doesn't last. Long as we're together, just keeps getting better. Just keeps getting better.
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and it'll wind up about 4 yards as they'll start at the 21-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 6. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Bradford. And he's able to find Diggs. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically,
he's got daylight. The 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 78 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And the defense stands tall. The 2-point try is no good.
If we had $1 for every time we heard a team talk about explosive plays and how valuable they are, we probably wouldn't have to work very much. And we just saw a big one there. And then they tried to go explosive again, going for 2.
Yeah, is that a little too risky, you think? Just kick the extra point?
And you know, I'm all about getting points. And if I feel good about my kicker, I go ahead and do that. But with that ball at the 2-yard line, going for 2, I think it's awfully tempting for teams nowadays.
Stewart is the lone setback. Here's Newton, flush to his right. And some room to roam now. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
He's got time in the pocket. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Flushed out right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Screen play, McKinnon, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had to finish it off.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Now Bradford on 4th down. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Panthers will get the football back. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent. Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be executed that well, just as we saw.
And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it, but was not in bounds, incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They find some open field here. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So now, Charles, 2 touchdowns, 2 tries at 2-point conversions, and both fail.
And you want to say, let's go ahead and run the kicker out there from now on. But the problem is you're chasing points at this stage. So now you've got to dial up more 2-point conversions and hope you're successful from here on out.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Stewart is the lone setback. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, They put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Bradford on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Bradford to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline.
Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I think you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not a particularly good return here, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball. Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And the numbers down a bit from their Super Bowl year this season for Jonathan Stewart. Did have some injuries. He finished with 824 yards. 9 touchdowns, though. Good in that department. When it's around the goal line, he's a terrific runner because he knows how to get there, and he can run through contact, run through trash, as we like to say. That's part of the reason he accumulates the injuries that he does, because he runs inside a lot and takes on those linebackers. Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out. Not the quarterback. No. The punter. Yeah. Yeah. Risky. And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart. Not so genius. In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early, limiting to 72 yards total for the season. Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back, admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return. One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017. And
And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go.
Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And now a fair catch called for, and he'll indeed take it at about the 6-yard line. We get a look at the Carolina defense as they work their way into position. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for this.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now it's Ginn. And the Panthers coming out now. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Newton now to throw. And the tight end Dixon left side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but some. And look at this, another fake. It's caught. Tolbert. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. Give him 9 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Always enjoy a good fake. I really enjoy it when he throws the football from pump formation. Now, you were a kicker and a punter in high school. Did you ever do that?
One time, threw to my man Tim Jones on a botched field goal at Tim. Hit him right in the numbers. And Jonesy just dropped it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chad Greenway, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that? But to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Robinson Robinson in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. They'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Adrian Peterson. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, 34 yards. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And nowhere to go. He'll make it back only to the 5-yard line.
Special teams coaches spent a lot of time scheming things up, but this was just a bad return. Now the offense has a long way to go to try to put points on the board.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is the only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those. And maximizing opportunities.
offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Newton on 1st down. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Sliding out of the pocket. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, 39 yards. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there. Now to the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
And he's able to find Diggs. Past the 20. A big play there. Yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll throw again. Bradford. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
That'll be taken in.
Get back into the game. Teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Vikings defense getting ready to go. Throwing is Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere. in tight, doesn't really matter. Because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Here's Newton, and they got the hook up. This is Olsen, and down he'll go at the 25. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And this one goes nowhere, losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. The things got a little dicey there as soon as he exited the pocket out to the left.
And he ends up throwing it for no yardage gain. I don't know about you, but my high school coach, John Ford, if he saw a ball...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Following the interception, Bradford. This will be caught at about the 3. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bradford gonna throw for it, and they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you would... yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's...
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Stephon Diggs from 13 yards out. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
I'm going to take it all the time.
Oh, hit the point. Here you go. You can play at the left match.
Time to make up the quarter more.
Unless we play more to combat.
Say chat, we want that nigga chat. Chat. No, that nigga chat.
Ah, man, you want to do that, man.
She's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Forbath to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andrews, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Now Forbath for the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Coming off the pick 6, it's Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Brian Robinson in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now in punt formation, but as we've seen, that's no guarantee he'll punt the football. Sherrills to return it. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan. And
now it's second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play.
Stephon Diggs. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 77 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now. But he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
Chat. So you know we finna end the live stream off, bro. You know what I'm saying, dog? 62 to 68 to 8. I mean, dog by 60, bro. So I'm gonna be live streaming Fortnite late in the night, bro. You know that. Get ready. Bam! Talk to you later, chat. Yeah, GG.